And Nike says it's laying off about 1,400 people in an effort to streamline workflows. The move accounts for a little less than 2% of the company's global workforce. Well, not just Nike here. After mass layoffs last year, more big layoff news in big tech in just the last 24 hours, including the likes of Meta Platforms, planning to lay off 10% of its workforce, or roughly 8,000 employees, as it continues ramping up investments in artificial intelligence. Meta confirms the cuts will begin May 20th and that it's scrapping plans to hire people for 6,000 open roles. The news coming just hours after Microsoft, for the first time in its history, plans to offer voluntary buyouts for about 7% of its workforce as it boosts capital spending on data centers. Joining me now on this and more is Corey Staley, senior economist over at Indeed. Corey, is this just the beginning, I guess is my question.
Hey, Dominic, thanks for having me. I think right now, we do see that, these types of cuts are potentially setting the stage for, a tougher labor market, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these cuts continue as we go forward in the coming months, because we're seeing right now that the labor market just in general is really, really tough right now. And we're seeing employers make these types of moves.
Is it just in technology right now? We've highlighted the big tech names there, but the fear, Corey, is that it could be a more broader-based kind of beginning to bigger job cuts in other industries. Are you seeing signs of that right now?
There are some signs, right? So, if we look back over the last 3 or 4 years, it seems like a lot of the cuts have been really focused in tech. But if you look at the last, 12 months, we've seen some of these cuts start to branch out into some other areas, right? Like we've seen cuts in transportation companies, media companies. And so I do think that there is a little bit of pressure that we see going outside of tech. How far that goes and how big it grows, though, is kind of the real question and going to be the big thing to watch.
And because Indeed, we all know, or most of us know, is a job search platform matching employers with employees. Is there anything in your data or platforms that can tell us a little bit about where the jobs are and just who is applying and what types of roles that they're trying to seek?
Yeah, so there's a lot of data, right? Like we sit on this massive amount of data, right? Like I love being in this data perch where we can see things, and oftentimes we can see things, well before the government data. And so if we look at the data as it sits now, one of the big things we track is job postings, and we try to understand, okay, where are the opportunities? And what that's telling us right now is there's actually a little bit of some resurgence potentially happening in some of these tech companies, which is interesting, right? So we're seeing some cuts, but we're also seeing some hiring as well starting to pick up in software development and some of these different technology jobs. And so we see a little bit of that. And of course, we continue to see healthcare also driving a lot of the opportunities. We've seen healthcare adding jobs on the job, when the actual employment reports come out, but we're continuing to see employers hiring for healthcare jobs on our platform as well. And interestingly enough, we're also, again, able to see on the other side of that question, we're able to see the people who are looking, and we're seeing more and more recent graduates, especially this time of year, coming to our platform looking for jobs.
All right. Corey Staley at Indeed, senior economist there. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon, sir.
Thank you.
All right, a lot more to come here on